Hey, hello up there in the temperate zone. I'm very sorry I can't be with you guys tonight. I'm glad at least to be able to address you by video. At the moment, Nancy and I are on Staniel Key in the Exuma Islands, and we're getting ready to take off tomorrow morning on a sea kayak trip with about 7 fellow paddlers. It's a week of sun, fun, paddling, and snorkeling. Yeah, I know it's a tough job, but, well, somebody's got to do it. And last I knew, my daughter Ellie is there with you tonight to accept the award for me, along with my good friend and colleague Bert Heap. As a freshman at St. Thomas, I'm sure Ellie would like to address you with a short speech right after mine. Just kidding, Ellie. It was one of the greatest thrills of my life to find out that I was being given this award. It's even more meaningful since it is named after Willard Munger. In his long tenure at the Capitol, he set an example and a standard for all of us here tonight to live up to. He not only was there to talk the talk, but he really was there to walk the walk. He spoke from the heart, and everyone knew where Willard stood unequivocally. That's a legacy I'll do my best to live up to. As I speak, let's take a look at some video I shot last Sunday on the Burnside River, where we live in Ely. The canoe that I'm paddling was made in Ely by Joe Saliga, who passed away just a couple years ago at the age of 94, after having made wood canvas canoes for more than 65 years. Minnesota is a state that loves nature. Nancy and I came here in 1975 from Rocky, New Hampshire, expecting to find fields of corn and soybeans, and instead we found a boreal forest, clear crystal waters, and Precambrian rock covered with lichens that only exist where air is clean. Our summer job in Ely that year was working on an EPA project that Senator Humphrey brought to Ely in the mid-1960s. His concern for clean water was the reason for a 10-year study in Ely to see what effect the nutrient phosphorus has on the aquatic environment, and it led to federal regulation to remove phosphates from laundry detergents and the upgrading of sewage treatment systems across the country. We have a long history of concern and action in our party and in our state to do things that make a difference in the quality of the environment. I truly believe most of us are willing to make some sacrifices now so we can leave a better environment for our kids and grandkids. I'm so proud of the voters of Minnesota who voted to approve the Water, Land, and Legacy Amendment to the Constitution last fall. This is a new budget that should not be robbed to do what we already do. This is money that can push the bar higher and start to correct the most difficult issues in the ecosystem we have yet to face, like groundwater contamination and non-point source pollution of our lakes and streams. In every new environmental permit application the state reviews, we should be gauging what the impacts will be on climate change. In fact, we as individuals should be gauging the personal decisions we make each day and do our best to reduce our own personal ecological footprint. Small daily decisions made by a large number of people can do more to reduce greenhouse gases than any one regulation by government. From the car you drive, to the amount of waste you recycle, to the insulation of your home and the light bulbs you burn, it all adds up every day. If each of us leaving here tonight starts to think about how we personally affect the land, the water, and the atmosphere of this blue planet in every decision, we'll make a big difference, and it will spread to our neighbors and friends who take up our example. One final comment on an issue that confronts us today. It may be somewhat unpopular to question new industry, offering good jobs in a down economy, but I think we still have to take off the rose-colored glasses and look objectively at every request to permit industry that could negatively impact our environment. It's copper nickel mining that I'm talking about, and it's the big issue that's soon coming to a head up where we live. It seems to be another confrontation between the age-old warriors, jobs versus the environment. I hope we choose correctly and judge wisely. The nature of copper nickel ore is not like anything we've mined before, and the consequences of a botched job will haunt us into perpetuity. Perpetuity, that's a long, long time. Right now, the ore is safe deep in the bedrock, as it has been for over 1.8 billion years. As resources like these metals become even scarcer, they will only gain in value over time. A rush to harvest the profits now could cost our society in more than one way. If there's a problem with acid mine drainage or leaky tailings basin, the cost of cleanup will be enormous, if not impossible. If we dig it out now, we may also be losing the bulk of the profits that might come when the cheap ore elsewhere has been exhausted. Most likely there will be better technology in the future to ensure the safety of sulfide ore mining in the environment. I know this is an unpopular position right now in a downturned economy and on an iron range shrinking in student population where mining jobs would make a difference. But the implications to the Boundary Waters, my business as a canoe outfitter, and the thousands of people who come to places like Ely to visit, retire, or work could outweigh the benefits. Our lives are preposterously short on a planet that's billions of years old. In the last 200 years, just look at the incredible impact we've made on this little blue sphere. Now is really the only time we have to make change happen. We should turn around, face the earth, and commit ourselves to use less, use what we need, and use it wisely. Maybe we should take this one just a little bit slower and let nature win one just for once. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for this wonderful award. And please come up to Ely and visit us sometime.